Hey guys, with another episode of Silverback Syndicate, I have our special guest from California, well, Los Angeles, California. Chris Britto is a close friend of mine, a buddy of mine in arms. So I have him here today just to give a little bit of knowledge from what he deals with on his side. I think the interesting thing about Chris is that he's actually originally from Chicago. Chicago's a nice EP market that you can make a name for yourself. But it's one of those special markets where you learn a whole lot of street knowledge and skill sets that you probably won't get in a lot of other demographics. But he has taken his knowledge from what he's gotten from Chicago and he has found a way to make it work in Los Angeles, California, which is actually a larger market, um, which has a lot more proponents of people there. So in my mind, yes, it is a big opportunity, but yet also is a open fight to make a name for yourself. And he has successfully done that. So I want to introduce him. And Chris, go ahead and tell people a little bit about your background from early on, and then we'll go into some other details.
I think I was happy with your introduction right there. I think I had to say nothing more.
I
But
mean, there's a lot to say, brother.
it is. I definitely I started the industry in 2003. I was given an opportunity, unlike other people. I didn't come through like the club scenes. I didn't have a security background. Someone just grabbed me and took me under their wing and was like, "Hey, I think you're gonna be good for this." And they put me on the road with B2K. That was the first group I've ever been with, first client I ever had, and I fell in love with the job. And I think falling in love with a job when you're new to it and still having that same love and passion for it 20 something years later, I think is amazing.
Okay. Quick question. So we're gonna put a pin in it. I'm just gonna ask you. Um, Once you say you were with B2K, you say that was your first client. Were you originally working at a security company? How did that transpire? Because B2K is a group, and a lot of times people don't understand that. Yeah, it may be a group, but sometimes they usually just have one bodyguard for the entire group. So I want you to explain number one what you did to break into the industry, and then some of your experiences coming out the gate with no real EP background and just kind of learning on the fly based off of passion.
Okay. Well, not, you have me telling on myself. So I was in the streets selling um, burned out cell phones and Skyway pagers. And I kind of like met these guys in the industry where I was serving up these phones to people in the industry. And one guy in particular, he was Cisco's live-in bodyguard. His name was Marco Powell.
Okay.
And Marco did business with me for years prior to me even getting into this bodyguard thing. I went to visit my homeboy that was on road on they had so B2K had a show in Detroit. And my homeboy did the sound engineering. So I was like, let me just pop up in there, and go to the show. And while I'm waiting for my friend to come out and get me, anybody know when you have to wait outside for your friend to come get you because there's no will call list. You got to wait for somebody to do you a favor. I heard somebody yelling out my name. Now, mind you, this is my first time in Detroit. I had never been to Detroit, so it was kind of weird that somebody be calling me.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being Marco.
Okay.
He asked me what I was doing there. I told him and whatever. He said, man, you need to get on the road with me. And I'm like, and do what? And at that time, I was probably 6 foot, 100 and maybe 200 pounds at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, do security. I was like, man, I don't know nothing about no security. He was like, bro, I'm gonna teach you. And
Okay.
I'm like, are you sure? I was like, I don't know. I don't even fight, bro. He was like, look, he was like, look, go with me. I'm gonna train you on what you need to know, and that's all it needs. That's all you need to do. What you need to do is go back to LA, get you a guard card, get your gun license, and I'll take you from there.
Okay.
And I got on the next plane. I think at the time I was working in Chicago at the M&M factory.
Okay.
Doing Dove bars off the line and working in the back, for parts and things like that. And I took
I knew you were sweet. Go ahead. Go ahead. It makes sense now.
what?
Not what?
What is sweet?
Don't
What
worry
is the
about it.
term? This is
Don't.
2025. I need to know what the definition of that is. Shit
Don't,
changes these days.
don't,
I need to
don't
know what
worry
that
about it.
means.
When the episode drops, just check the comment section. Everybody gonna know you sweet.
Okay,
Go ahead. Keep
whatever.
going.
Whatever. It was holes in the motherfucking M&M factory.
I'm
Anyway,
sure.
and Master Foods. That's what it was jumping in that joint. And so I think that's why they call it Master's Food, because they be hiring a bunch of blacks to work in there on some like crazy hours. But that's just me though. So I got on the next flight, went back to LA, got the stuff I needed. Marco came off that tour.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately put me in the gym. Immediately. That was the first thing he did, was put me in the gym. And working out with an ex-Marine is totally different than working out with somebody that just goes to the gym. He had this whole mentality, you want to go home or go to jail. I was like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But like either you can stay here, you can go home. I guess I'm gonna stay here. I mean, I guess this is where you want me to stay.
So when he said home, he was talking about Chicago.
Possible.
Okay. All right.
I stayed in there. I just stayed with him. I didn't know which one was hell, which one was jail, which one was home. I said, I'm just gonna stick with it, bro. Let's just do it. And from there, he started training me hand to hand.
Yeah.
But his hand to hand was different. He punched you in the mouth and tell you can't take a punch, you can't fight. Thing.
He wasn't lying.
He just catch you off guard. It was just the craziest thing. But he was from DC, great brother. B2K had a team. It was a guy named Tony Coleman. You had Big Vern that ended up doing a lot of stuff for like touring security later. There was another guy named Mitch Richmond, who I think he works somewhere in the Jay-Z Beyonce camp.
Okay. I feel like I think I've met Mitch before or come across his path or something.
He big Christopher Williams looking light-skinned brother,
Yeah.
So he was a cool brother. And then it was Marco.
Okay.
Tony Coleman left to do dog, like he was training people's dogs at their houses. So he was working for Britney Spears and stuff like that. But that was the team of guys that was
the Mark from DC. Is that the same Mark that handles Tyrese now?
No, Marco is actually, he does video. He does surveillance now. He don't even do bodyguard work any longer. Okay. He does home installs and things like that. Okay. He's the camera guy. Marco's now the camera guy. He can get all the cameras you need for anything.
Okay. All right. See, so that's another transition somebody could think about when it comes to security. I do like, there was a couple things that you didn't say that told me a lot about your journey. Number one, an opportunity was given to you. You didn't understand the vision, but somebody saw that for you. That's pretty much how my career took off. Somebody saw something to me that I didn't see in myself. But what I took from that is not one point in time in this conversation have you mentioned anything about money. And I noticed that a lot of guys online now, they're talking about pay. They're talking about how much money they should be making or could be making or what they think they're entitled to. And from what I'm gauging from what you were saying, I think you were just in a position in life where you were just hungry and it didn't matter the pay. It was about the opportunity. So
I didn't even ask.
Exactly. So I want people to understand opportunity doesn't always come with $1. Opportunity comes with a vision and a drive and determination, and then the money will come. You're not chasing the money.
I agree.
You're chasing the dream. A lot of guys are constantly chasing the money. And I'm not going to sit here and act like there's no money in this. Oh, it can change your life. This is life-changing money in this industry, but it only changes your life if you can stay in the industry. And a part of that is actually having a passion for the job, not what the job brings you.
Right. 100%. I agree with that.
So go ahead.
Just as fast, like people look at the job and see the glitz and glam, right? But that glitz and glam ain't for us.
It ain't about us.
That's not our vision. That's not what we're here for. It's not about that. Like, I think one of the first things Marco told me out the gate was a chick will get you fired.
It's still relevant.
He said it's not that you can't talk to women, but let me tell you this. He said when you talk to women on the road, you look like a security risk.
You don't look
And
like you're
and you
focused.
may not think that you are, but the thing is that if you can sit there and be all chummy with a girl, that girl could be looking for the way to get past you to get to the artist.
Or just
That
to get you
girl
to just to
she
get you
could
to let your guard down for
get
half
you
a second.
you're right, let your guard down, whatever that is. And it's not always about you. You could be the decoy. She's just trying to get you to let down your guard, so therefore her boys can rob that nigga, or excuse me,
You can say what you can say what
okay,
you want. This is death row,
can,
baby.
can rob the client. Another girl can try to smooth you over while another girl try to do what she do. Like it's a whole another game. So I think I learned that out the gate. Forget the threat from outside. Worry about the inside threat. The chick will be the inside threat that you need to worry about more than anything else.
And
I think is what I was taught in the beginning.
the crazy part is a lot of the guys don't understand it. Even in that 2 minute or 30-second interaction, she can get you to reveal some information that you don't even realize you're giving out. Oh, what
Right.
y'all do? Oh, what y'all doing tonight? Oh,
Where
I'm
you
not.
staying?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to go to
sure.
your room. Where you
We
staying?
probably gonna whoop 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 whoop. You don't think nothing about it, but she like, oh, word. All right, so these are the options. Oh, where you staying at? What you got? Oh, y'all at a hotel? Okay, what hotel? What area? Like it's like it gets tricky because
Yes.
you know you've traveled enough. It's just like if you have an NBA client, more than likely you're gonna stay at the Four Seasons. Even when they're on their downtime, they like to stay at the Four Seasons. Why? NBA teams have contracts at the Four Seasons and now the WNBA. It's just like little things like that. If you put that information out there, they're going to be able to track you just because you said hello because she was cute and she didn't even have a pedicure. Bro, you dropping the ball. You got to relax. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off of that. Um, Something else that you mentioned was he trained you. It may not have been a schooling. It may not have been in a classroom setting, a PowerPoint, but he said, look, I'm going to show you what you
Yeah.
need to do. Mentorship is extremely important because knowledge is usually passed on firsthand, not through, um, not through,
Textbook.
not through textbook. Elijah Shaw has a great statement. He says to everybody, textbook versus reality. And that can be so true every day of the week. Like there's so many things we think about or we read about, and in our brains we're like, okay, X, Y, and Z, that's the move that you got to make. But just like in sports, you have to have a pivot, you have to have options, you have to have plan A, B, C. You got to be the quarterback in the hole, looking at this route, looking at the defense. You have to know all of that, and that's EP. You have to
Yeah.
be comfortable with the pivot. Um, I also liked that you mentioned your size at the time that you started. You said you were what, 6 feet, 6'1"? Are you
I
there?
had the height. I just didn't have the weight.
Wait. But you with the height, 6'1" ain't the
I didn't.
height. Shut
What
up.
the funny is, I didn't even have the height. To be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. So like people have this theory about size, and I say this as much as possible. But my first time meeting you was through a manager of a client that I had. And I had to meet you to come get some tickets. I had to be at the back door. Matter of fact, I had to be at the back door waiting for you at the Miami show.
Yep.
And you were on tour with B2K. And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the venue was because I was a student of the game. I had nothing going on that night. My client was already tucked in, and the opportunity presented itself for me to come see somebody work from a different perspective because, you know, I never had a B2K group. At that point in time in my career, I mainly had urban artists on the rap side, not
Right.
R&B or pop. So me being a student, I want to see what that looks like. I don't want to assume what it looks like. I need to be able to go back there and see it for myself. So what you didn't know was I was watching you. I
I
was
did not
studying.
know this.
Yeah, I never told you this. I was watching you. I was studying what you was doing. I could care less about B2K. I want to see what's going on because if a client's manager or friend comes up to me and goes, "Hey, do you know Chris?" Nah, I never met Chris. Oh man, he's a good guy. You should know him. Blah 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 blah. They vouched for you before I even met you. You know what I'm saying? And I caught you in work mode. You were very short. Hey, here you go, bro. Nice to meet you. Clink. Boom, you were gone. And every time I saw you, you were on the move. But that brings me to my next point. One of the key niches that you do, that a lot of guys don't do, is in regards to your fashion. You have a fashion sense. I don't have that. Therefore, I wear black all day, every day. I like black. I'm comfortable in black. Black is beautiful. Black makes me feel slim. Now, with that being said, one thing I love about you is that you are unapologetically always you. Um, and for that, you always have my respect. That's why whenever you
Appreciate that.
call, I always answer. If you ask me about anything, I will always answer. If the opportunity comes up, there are two people that I call for California, you and Sarge. Those are my go-tos. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I think is hilarious is how much you upset the ecosystem of bodyguards. They lose their minds when they see how you dress. And for those who don't know Mr. Brito, he wears clothes to make him fit into the group. He does not wear black. He does not look like he's in uniform of 511s whatsoever. He looks like he is a part of the team. And I feel because of that, the clientele that he has, they're 10 times more comfortable with him because he fits into their range and it allows him opportunities to work with artists who probably don't really like security. They don't like the big 6'7", 6'5", all black, standard look that we normally have. Mr. Brito gets to walk in. He got his fucking $300 sneakers on. His outfit's well put together. He has his hat. He's in the mix. He's standing right there in the crowd. He's right next to his client, and the room don't even notice him. But when it's time for you to do your job, you're always doing your job. So I want you to.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey man, listen, flowers and flowers are due. So I don't have the confidence to do what you do. I don't have the fashion sense. I just don't. I don't possess that. So I've always respected you for it. But I know how much slack you get for being like that. And I know a lot of people are short sighted on understanding the vision. But I just
Well,
want to open. I want to open that door for you to give an
I'm
opportunity
good.
to
I
explain to
appreciate
people
that.
why you do what you do and how it works for you.
So I will, and I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity. I think a lot of people are just short visioned and they don't see outside the box and they don't see the future. The thing is about being in the industry, we do not have a retirement plan. A lot of you don't have a retirement plan. You plan on doing bodyguard work, you think you're going to get rich off of this. Well, that's not going to be the thing. You have to have a plan. And when you turn 60, and because I see guys that are 60 plus still doing the job. They some of them can hardly move. Some of them look good, but they still working because they don't have a retirement plan. So what I will say is I look outside the box. What can I do next? I ask about doing role management. I ask about being managing. I ask about, what can I do else in touring besides security? And
Mm-hmm.
so what I try to do is learn as I go throughout this job of what my options can be. Like I own my own armored vehicles, because I had a client that asked me, to rent one from somebody else. And I saw how much money they was getting. I said, well, I can't miss that opportunity ever again. let me figure that out. But dressing normal, one thing I've always was taught was if they can identify who security is, they know who to take out first.
Very true.
Okay. And if we all always dress in that standard look, all of you look the same. Oh, you're security. Like guys, I spot them out. I don't care where I am. I could be in the airport. I could see somebody famous, and within seconds, I know who the detail is, even if they're not on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a certain look that people have. Or maybe it's just the fact that I know where I would be. That could be a thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But blending in, I think one of my current clients, he likes the idea of me dressing the way I dress because it's similar to him. He's not afraid to take me to a meeting that he's going to for Nike. or
Hmm.
with Jordan brand or with Adidas, whoever it may be with, because I fit his MO. I fit the way he looks. I know he knows that I know fashion. So it's like, look, if I get this, I need y'all to make sure Britto get this. Cause you see us together. I've never had a client want to put me in the mix with them.
Yeah.
But it's because of how I portray myself. It's like, no, you need to be in the room with me. Oh,
Yeah.
my manager don't have to go. I got Chris. Hey, we going to this premiere. Chris, just put on a suit. I don't mind putting on a suit.
Yeah.
I don't mind dressing for the part of wherever we're going. But for me, if I'm with a client and they're on the beach and I got on 5'11" SWAT gear, and they are in damn swim trunks and a wife beater, I look crazy.
Yeah, you definitely do. I've literally been on the beach with a royal family in a suit.
Like, come on, y'all.
In a suit. Now that was their standard request. As
Which is
crazy,
fine.
yeah, which is fine. As crazy as it looks, it is what it is. I understand their situation. Um, but I hope people realize and understand what you just said. Your client prefers it.
Yes.
Um, I prefer to wear black, but I have had clients who were like, "Yo, can you not wear black today?" And I've had to go online and go to stores and order a
And
bunch
find
of
something.
and find something to match
Yeah.
what we're doing. So if a client calls me and says, "Hey, we're going to Cabo," okay, I know how they get down to Mexico. I know I need to dress down a little bit. Let me put on some outfits that will throw them off so that they don't realize that the big black dude is the security and he might just be hanging out. Um, and I use that as a decoy so that I can see them slip up and not make preparations for the guy who's in all black. But do I prefer to be in all black? Yes. But what I want people to understand, like you said, they're short sighted. They don't understand the vision. There's more ways to skin a cat than just one.
Right.
But if your client doesn't have an issue with it, and I'm not just saying this to you, I'm saying this to anybody who's listening. If your client doesn't have an issue with how you dress and they prefer you to be a certain look, then you don't need to answer to anybody else because they're not paying your
No.
invoice. They're not cutting you the check. You need to be mindful that yes, you may like to do things a certain way. You might like to look a certain look, but the demographic of who you're dealing with and where they're going always determines how you look and how you act. Um, and yes, you may see Chris with a hat and some sneakers and he just looks super cool. He make the job look good. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like there's nothing wrong with it. Nobody was criticizing the old school guys, the old school big guys who had the all black on, but then they had a big ass white towel over their shoulder.
Or the shirt, the big T-shirt,
The big
just
black
the
tee.
plain.
Remember the 3 to 4X era? Oh my
Right.
God.
Like that's what they wore. But also, let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this the best way possible. I've been with a client that didn't like my attire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the new version of how I dress. It was how I dressed early on in the industry, right?
Yeah.
And what that client did was like, look, that don't go with. I was buying off the rack suits, and he had custom suits and certain designer clothes and things. He was like, no, you can't be around me. So he took, you know what he did? You rappers need to learn something. If you got an issue with what your man's wearing, then you take him shopping and you get him what you want him to have. If you so worried about what he needs to have on, then you need to put up the money to make sure I have it. Don't
And
just
it,
complain about it.
and honestly, it's very common because I can name off a couple artists that I know who have dressed their security. Um, I
And
mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I mean, some shit, hell, some tours they want you to wear the merch.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like they make it easy for you. My first rock tour, I will never forget. I'm sitting there, in my 5'11", feeling all proud, and the lead singer walks in. And he looks at me. He goes, "Get his size. Make sure he has everything he needs." And he walks out the door. I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Next, thing you know, they come in with all sorts of gear with everything that his brand is on everything. He's like, "That's what
Yeah.
you wear." And he came back inside. He's like, "Let me see it." I was like, "See what?" He goes, "Did you try it on?" I'm like, "Yeah." He made me try on the clothes in front of him. He's like, "All right, cool. Now you look good." And I was
Right.
like, I didn't take it in a bad way because the invoice is gonna cut the same. If you want me to wear, long as you ain't got me wearing no little Rastafari netted undershirt on with my nipples out, I'm okay. I'll put the shirt on. Okay.
So I would pay to see that.
First of all, um, I'm trying to figure out
You already
if there's a number on my shame.
you already said you was undressing and dressing in front of the man. You might as well put on a nipple shirt too.
Hey man, listen. I I mean, I'll do it. I don't care. Forget it. I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
uh so yeah, I'm glad we touched on that because I think that is a very prominent thing that you're known for is
Well, to be honest with you, X, I just don't understand how they take that and decide that that's a reason not to like me or not to deal with me, or or come up with your own understanding. Oh,
well,
Chris is bougie. Chris dressed better than the artist. He trying to be this and that.
You know what?
What?
But guess what? All that talk is coming from below where you stand. And with that, you just don't pay it no mind. Like if they're questioning why you do what you do or how you look, it's because they've never been in the right rooms. They're not at that spot to understand how it can go. Elijah doesn't look like he's working security at all, other than sometimes when he wears his bag.
Right.
He fits in with his client, and he's one of the top guys. Secret Service, when they go with their client, they're dressed how their client needs to be. If the client's going on a run, guess what? They're wearing a sweatsuit. They're running in sneakers and shorts.
Yes, they are.
I was lucky enough where I was doing a detail. I had a contract for a private event, and Jeff Bezos guys were advancing, and I knew exactly who they were from a mile away. And everybody's like, "How did you know?" I said, "Because when people get at a certain level, their security is going to fit in a certain way."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So no, they didn't have on black. They had on jeans and sneakers, just like regular white guys. But you can tell, you always know. And they weren't big guys. They were all of, like you said, 6 feet, 100 and something pounds. I don't think any one of them was over 200 pounds. So guys understand when you're criticizing, you're looking online and you're making judgment and trying to assess somebody else's situation. You need to understand that life comes in 360, not 180. It's not a straight direct line. It's a big full circle of things going on around that you may not be engaged in or might not even be aware of, but they're going on. And that's why whoever you're looking at is doing what they're doing. And they're okay with it because they're successful at it. Now, if you see Chris Britto sitting there with some custom sneakers on that nobody can find, and some khaki shorts and a nice t-shirt and a hat, and you're like, well, is he working? What is he doing? That's not your business. He knows he's working. His client knows he's working. Now, that's the goal. My goal is to confuse you, not to tell you the whole blueprint. So don't make a judgment if you've never been in that situation. Take notes, ask questions. You don't think it'd be more mindful for you to send a message directly to someone and say, "Hey, quick question. I see you moving like this. Can I ask you why?" Because I've done it to you, Chris. I've said it. I've asked you, like, "Yo, why you do it like that?" Oh, okay, cool, bet. That's it. Like, it's not my thing. It's not my niche. You know what I'm saying? But
it was crazy. What's even crazier, X?
Yeah.
I don't even like shoes. If you could see my feet right now, I have on slides, bro. I like having my feet exposed. I like having my feet out.
Yeah.
But what happened was, and just be more, open. Wale said, "Hey, why don't you have any dunks?" I said, "I don't wear dunks. I wear Jordans." He said, "You need to get you some dunks." And I was like, okay. So I went looking for dunks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found if I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna get the hottest. I'm gonna find the hottest ones. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm bidding on stuff. I'm going through. I'm looking for stuff. Blah blah blah. I'm asking my shoe guy in DC, "Hey, what dunks do I need?" So I get together. I get about 10 pair of dunks in the course of a couple of months. Right. While they say, "Look, That's all you're gonna bring. That and Jordans, put it in your bag. Let's go. In his mind, he had it set up that we gonna get a Nike deal. That's what he said. They're gonna see you. They're gonna see me. We're gonna come out like this, and they're gonna be like, that nigga Wale and his security nigga. We need to get them. We need to get them on something
For sure.
And I was like, okay, well now for me it's like, oh, maybe I can get a check to Nike while I'm doing security. Oh, why not? Why not? And then, hey, then I ain't gotta buy no shoes no more. I can get free shoes. I can get the little box that come and they got multiple shoes in there. I'm like, yo, okay, whatever you say, boss. I'm gonna take your lead. That's what we're gonna do. So a lot of it was like it was put together as a plan.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Chris want to put on this, and that. No, I was told this is what the plan was, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna get this. You know, and they featured us on Nice Kicks. They featured us on something else where they be like, look, Wale and his security, blah, blah, blah. Like it's known. So it was like, I was like, okay, this is the marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So when guys kept like, even I think one time I saw you like, what you got on today? You know, I was like, oh, they don't do me like that. But it was like, yeah, that's what we was going. Because Wale heard you. He said, nigga, that's what we're going for right there.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And I was like, okay. So it was all a gimmick. Cause I swear to God, I don't even like shoes, bro.
Hey, listen, you had me convinced that day I saw you with the custom bag for sneakers only. I said, God damn.
Right. And I got the bag free.
Yeah, it was your carry-on. I said,
this how you should travel.
I said, you got a carry-on for your sneakers? You're like, yeah, bro, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. Like, listen, I may not always understand everything, but I'm not going to pass judgment because I don't know. I'm not a sneaker guy. I don't know. Listen, I got big feet, okay? Sneakers passed me in middle school. Once you go past the 13, the design just don't even look right no more. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. I gave up on sneakers. I used to be the kid looking in the back of East Bays, waiting to get out of poverty so I can get me some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is all these sneakers that we wanted as kids, they're back again. You know what I mean? So
they are.
You know,
if you didn't get them back then, you get them now. But I also created a wave where guys start wearing regular shoes to work.
Yeah,
I've had guys in the industry be like, man, I dress differently because of you.
I've seen it.
You know, like, and I'd be like, okay, that's good. Or
trust me, I've seen it.
Guys be like, hey man, I got these. What you got? Oh, you want to go to war? That's what you're trying to do. You want to compete? Oh, okay.
I've seen dudes try to compete with you online. I'm not gonna say their names. I'm not gonna give them no shine.
I say, hey, you might as well quit, bro. You in the wrong department.
But listen, I tell everybody, I see everything, Playboy. I don't speak on it, but I'm watching everything. I see you new guys. I see you lame guys. I see you cool guys. I see you stuck up guys. We see it all, and it's okay. There's room for all of us. I promise you that. It is room for all of us.
Just do the job and do it well, and don't feel like you're too good to learn something new.
Exactly. I'll be very transparent. I remember when Kane was transitioning in what he was doing, and him and the baby got together, and it started coming off like a gimmick, and I was just like, I wasn't in tune to the vision at the moment. Because in my mind, I'm like, if you're a bodyguard, especially at that size. But then I started paying attention to other moves that he was making. And he was smart enough to take the image of him being a bodyguard and being successful attachment to his client. And as far as he was dressing, he was wearing shorts, sneakers, Fashion Nova gear. I'm like, Fashion Nova? Like, what the fuck you going? How you gonna do a detail on Fashion Nova gear? Next, guess what? Fashion Nova deal. Then he had his book. Then he had his serums and his products, and
right.
He did a whole conglomerate of a movement.
Now he acted.
Yeah, and he's an actor. He's in movies. You know what I'm saying? Like he's everywhere. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn. The catch-22 is once you become bigger than your client, how can you stand next to them? You get what I'm saying? 48 laws of power, and the art of war, you never outshine the master. But sometimes we put a hold on other people and what we expect them and their limitations to be. And he didn't
Right.
see himself to have limits. He was like, fuck it,
There's no limit.
I can do it
I can do
all.
it all. Yes.
And I'm sitting here watching, and mind you, I don't have any relationship with this brother. I've never spoken to him a damn. Well, I saw him. It was like one of those bodyguard what's ups, like nigga, fuck you, like the alpha shit that we do.
Yeah. He
That
actually a good. He's a cool dude though.
that's what I've heard. But like I said,
He's a cool dude.
you know me, I'm not looking for new friends. So it's like if I come across you, I come across you. But I'm just like I said, I watch everybody. So I'm having all these thoughts in my brain. But rule number one, I never spoke upon it out loud. I never criticized them out loud. I just asked questions in my head and I paid attention. And then when it all came together, I was like, you know what? I'm proud of dude. Because what he just did was he opened up another gateway for all of us. Low
Right.
key.
Yes.
He opened up another gateway for all of us because somebody has to be first. I'm not saying he's the first to do it. I will say
Right.
he's the first that I've seen to do it at the level that he's done it.
Yeah.
And still be able to stand next to a client and the client feel comfortable and I'm comfortable. The client still feels comfortable and confident enough to stand next to him. He's on tour right now with his client. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to him. I don't know you, brother, but
don't put a cap on your success.
Yeah, don't put a cap on your success.
You can't.
You can do a lot of things. And like you said earlier, it's a possibility of leading into management, tour management. I mean, of course you're going to learn stuff. All you got to do is learn the paperwork. You know how to manage the client.
But let me tell you,
bodyguard is managing your client. That's it.
And what's crazy is when you get on the management side, you know what you're looking for in security. Well, if you own a security company, why not employ your own guys to be the tour security? Oh, y'all need vehicles? Oh, I got vehicles. Hey, take my Sprinter. Use this Sprinter, this company with this Sprinter. They don't even have to know that your name is on everything. But let me tell you, now you get 3-4 checks and you only out to do one job.
Because guess what? Management does it. The production team do it. Everything you just said.
All the time.
The production manager owns the equipment from the tour.
You think he rented? You think he rented?
Yeah, the guys building the stage are his guys, his employee. Like they all do it in different aspects. So why not do it yourself? Also for the listeners, Chris does have a armored Sprinter, which is hard to come by. So if you need somebody to have an armored Sprinter,
as a matter of fact, it's the only one in LA.
Okay. Yeah. So if you were in the LA area, any of your clients need to move around, they need a bulletproof Sprinter. Call Chris Britto. Now, let's talk about some of the things that you've been able to accomplish. You've done the touring, you've done the bodyguarding, you've done estate security, you've done canine protection. It wasn't through a police department, but it was through security personnel. But nobody knows that about you. They've never seen you online with a picture with you and a dog. So why don't you give them a little bit of knowledge about how your experience was with that?
I will. So I worked at a trauma hospital in Los Angeles, and they introduced a K9 unit at that hospital, and I was first in line to want to sign up to do it. But here's a secret. I'm allergic to dogs.
Me too. I own a cane Corso.
So I would have like Benadryl in my pocket, but I love animals. Though. I love dogs. Animals don't. I can't fuck with animals for sinus reasons, but I love dogs. Okay. They had a program. I signed up for it. I thought it was something that I might want to, add to my resume over time. I just felt like, okay, forget just standard security where I got to walk around, check posts, or deal with people coming into a hospital. Give me something else to do. I want to be active. Because most time when you go to hospitals or you see guys just sit on the Securitas and like Allied University, what's the name of the company? Allied University. Like they own a little thing. Most of them guys be looking crazy. I didn't want to look like them. I wanted to be active. I wanted to be moving around. I wanted to do something. So I joined the K9 thing, and I will definitely be the first to tell you that experience is not like any other. to have a partner that you can depend on, that know is going to be there, that, you know, you got their back, they got your back, and you create that bond with them. It's almost like a brotherhood, but it's you and a dog. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
mean, for the lady listeners, y'all call us dogs anyway, so we might as well have a partner in crime.
and he was not letting no one walk up on me, he's not going for none of that. You know, and what you do have to learn is that they have their own temperaments.
Yeah.
They smell things that you may not even know is a problem. You know, so their guard is going to be on more than yours at times.
What kind of dog did it? Was it a German Shepherd?
I had a Malinois.
Yeah.
So
All
a Belgian Malinois is in the shepherd family, but they're more slender.
Oh, I know what they are. Shout out to John Wick.
Yes. Yeah. Holly Berry had too.
She had exactly. Too. And they was tearing their ass up.
So but the thing about them, so a German Shepherd normally is born with hip issues. Okay. So German Shepherds on the job don't last as long. The Belgian Malinois are more they have more agility, their flexibility, the stamina that they have is totally different.
No, I trust me. I've seen them. If you do tour, there's two dogs that you're gonna run into immediately. Number one, a Malinois first, probably, or some type of Labrador.
Correct. Some type of hound. Yeah.
They usually use those for the venues. And I always laugh because people who are dog people, they see those dogs and like, oh my God, can I pet them? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could, but I wouldn't because you just don't know. Like I'm not putting my face in front of no Malinois that I don't know.
But I will share this secret. Now, dogs are dogs, and dogs will be a dog, right? But they train dogs for different things. A patrol dog is not a search and rescue dog. They don't teach them in both areas because they want them to learn one thing and be great on the one thing. They're very tunnel vision trained individuals. So like someone that says, oh, the dog he's a patrol dog and he's a bomb sniffer, you're lying. You're lying. You didn't train him for both of them things. They have two different dogs for a reason.
I literally had somebody lie to me last week. Then I was at the Chris Brown show.
They train them separately. A dog that's meant for a patrol and attack is designed just for that.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Now, one thing we do need to address, you have a school. You have a bodyguard schooling. And I from what I've seen, it's extremely intense. It's very engaging because you keep the classroom size very small and it's all firsthand experience. You guys go out in the desert, y'all are doing combat training, pistol training, car training, all sorts of different variants. So I want you to go ahead and let the people know what your course comes with, what they can expect from you.
So I want to be honest. Like I want to be honest and separate those. So when you see us in the desert, when you see us doing the vehicle stuff and things like that, that's really just me and my friends, the guys that I work with, the guys I'm closest to, like that be out here in LA. We go out there together and train together. Mm-hmm. Because I keep trying to push this thing of guys working as a unit as opposed to being on a job by themselves.
Yeah.
That is something that I don't teach. I have someone that takes us through this course for us. It's a higher, like the guy that does it, he was in the French military. He worked for Celine Dion. He's been on covert type of operations. So like a lot of his training, I'd be like, I'm not going to experience this. You know what I mean? He'd be like, no, you still need to know it. That's like true. He puts us in a situation where we're hog-tied and we got to be able to stand up from being on the ground and get somewhere and move. You know, you've been shot in your right arm, you right-handed. How do you now take your gun and still return fire and reload? Like, so there's little things that he teaches, you know, that it was like, okay, I guess this is stuff I could use if I ever had to do it. But that training was just for us to do, for us to be together and build a bond and learn to work together and communicate. My training is an intro to EP. I have not created a a level 2, level 3, level 4. I have a level 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to perfect level 1 before I went into a level 2. I wanted to create something that wasn't so classroom based. I want you to come in. I want you to learn what the job is. I'm going to give you the outline of where you should start. And then I really want you to further your education from there. When you come to me to tell you if you're ready or not, that's what you come to me for.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the basics. So I'm going to teach you how to do a proper advance. I'm going to teach you how a day in the job, what a day on the job looks like. Forget the textbook, writing all the notes, taking all. No, here, bro, let's do the job. All right, we're going to go from here to there. Everything's going to be smooth. Boom. All right, now we go from here to there, and there's going to be a problem. Okay, we coming out of there, everything's smooth. We coming out of there, now there's a problem. How do we address the problem? How do you communicate with the car that you tell them what you need them to do? I think those things are basic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not advanced. That's basic. You need to know how to get in and get out. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Let's get in and let's get out. And it's like, okay, well, boom. So we got that part.
Mm-hmm.
Agility. What's your stamina like? What's your skill set? What's your fitness level? So now you push guys. They passing out. They can't do push-ups. I just need you to do. Hey, bro, get up. Just get off the ground.
Why are you on the ground?
You push them on the ground. Say, all I want you to do is get up. Right? You stand over them and you just put your hand on them. These guys have the hardest time trying to get up off the ground. And I had one guy come and say, hey, I didn't sign up for this. He said, I'm not cut for this. I said, well, at least you know now.
Yeah, because it's going to happen. You know.
Like at 40 something, I am jumping over barricades. I'm running through crowds. I'm climbing up on shit I shouldn't be climbing up on.
Oh my God.
It's just
goddamn speakers.
Yo, it's like, so if this is not something that we knew that you had, because every client don't do this. So if you had the okay client that never jumps off the stage, great. But let me tell you, what you come across one that does.
Not just that, you come across the artist who provokes his fans to jump on stage, or you come across the artist who is so captivating you get a stage crasher. You know, I went most of my career without worrying about anybody coming on the stage because the artists that I was running around with, you were probably worried about what would happen to you if you thought about coming across that stage. But as you continue to elevate, you're going to get different clientele. Now,
different things. Threat assessments.
Yeah, now
you gotta learn
it's a real thing.
Bodyguard 101, threat assessment. That's why. So, like, I argue with guys all the time when they be like, "Oh, so there's a video, right, where you see me muffing this dude and I push him off the stage." Okay, someone, I'm not gonna do this to your show, so I'm gonna say someone took the video and put it in their training class and decided to try to make it seem like I didn't know what I was doing and that I left my client exposed. Well, there's key factors. One, I'm on a 10-foot stage. I'm not worried about somebody jumping on the stage. That's not my first threat issue. It's more so who's on the stage now.
Mm-hmm.
Who does not need to be on the stage. My threat was going to come from the back of the stage, from the stairs. But what you also want to see is this guy that's on the other side of the stage is working with me, that has his eye on the client when I left the stage to move the guy out the way.
This goes back to life being a 360. They made a judgment, right, not knowing the facts.
But see, that's what you get when you try to do what I do and you're not good at what you do and you're trying to be me, but you can't be me. You see my show, I do my show, I invite people on, I talk about videos, I do whatever. But let me tell you this, if you ever hear my narrative, I ask you, what do you think happened? Do you think something could have been done different? Do you think this guy, blah, blah, blah? I don't say this asshole right here fuck up the whole industry. I don't say that. I don't ever do that. But there's guys that you try to give your opinion on the guy. You don't know that before I put up this video, a lot of times I reach out to the person in video or I ask who's in the video. So I say, hey, bro, you want to come on and talk about this? You want to tell me what happened? So therefore I can tell people what happened? How would you like to handle this?
I think you've called me. on a couple occurrences in my situation. You be like, yo, what happened?
because I prefer me ask you. I prefer to ask you what the scenario was because I don't want to look like I know, like I knew what the hell happened when I don't know what happened.
Now, full transparency, what I have tried to do is anytime something I do ends up online or on the blogs, I try to put it out there first so I can say, hey, look, I'm not perfect. This is what got caught on tape, but I can also tell you what actually happened beyond the video of what you see or the
Yeah.
camera angle because you don't know everything that's going on. But I do that because now we are me and you. I can say me and you because we both have a public profile where we open ourselves up to criticism because
All the time.
we do the podcast and the live streams and stuff like that.
Oh, and let
Um,
me tell you, they don't like you because of that either. They
I,
don't. Your opinion will have people mad at you, and you didn't even know you did something wrong.
yeah, I'm just trying to give back some free game. Like I'm
Right.
not in this trying to make it. I'm trying to give you. I'll try to give you free game so that you can figure out a way to deal
Oh
with it
no,
in your own way.
it's not free game. You're a hater, X. That's what they're gonna tell you. You're a hater. You
Mm,
wish you can be. You wish you had the job I had.
man,
That's
look,
why you. That's why you talking about it.
I don't want the job you had. I'm gonna say this the most humblest way. You got the call because I wasn't available.
Or you got the call because you were willing to put up that shit I wasn't willing to put up
Oh, they probably gave you the call because we weren't in the same price point.
with. That
Like,
too.
that too. Like there's many different reasons, but just be happy you got the call. I don't question
Right.
why I got the call. I don't give a damn. I got the call. I got an
Right.
opportunity. It's up to me to say,
Congratulations.
yeah, it's up to me to say yay or
But
nay, and you should do the same for you. Um, but don't ever think for one second, what I'm doing or what I'm trying to bring out there is hate. Or anytime I talk about somebody, uh, in any aspect, it is definitely not hate. I don't care enough to hate. Um, and I don't run around with hate in my heart. I'm too violent for that. I'll just punch you in the face.
you are too violent for that.
I hate that about me, but it works
But
for
it
me.
works for you. It works for you though.
It works for me.
Right.
It's very friendly over here. So yeah, enjoy the free game. Like I'm just trying to pass the knowledge because, I understand how difficult it can be walking into situations blindly. Um, so that's why I do things like this because I told you this was my premise was to put spotlights on people in this industry that others should be watching. They should be targeting. They should be trying to look at the blueprint and follow. You know, I did season one earlier this year. I didn't have you on season one, but I always knew I was going to have you on the podcast. I didn't have you on season one because I needed it. I needed it to be right because I don't want to shine a light on you that's not right. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to have my stuff right. So when I bring you in the fold, it'd be
Thank you.
like, hey,
Because my feelings were hurt.
I told you, man, I was gonna have you on. I needed to figure this out first. Um, because I want us to bring something positive to the table. Like we can go online and talk crazy for hours, but I want people to be able to click on this button, watch what we put out there and have to come back to it and be like, damn, you know what? He was right. I did see this. Well, I did that. Like, yes,
Right.
use us as a resource, brother. Reach out.
Right.
I mean,
And
um,
and what's crazy is X, I'm gonna say this. The fact that you're okay with people reaching out to you, the fact that I'm okay with people reaching out to me. There's a lot of guys that don't even give a shit about you. They
yeah,
don't want to talk to you. I respond to DMs, I respond to emails. I might not have something for you on that day, but let me tell you something. I will keep you in mind
yeah.
if something comes up. You know what I mean? And what makes us great at what we do, and I understand some guys don't like it. You think you deserve the call, but what you don't understand is, maybe you wasn't the right fit for that situation.
Oh my God. Preach, preacher.
You think you're the great fit, but no, because there's certain things about that I need to make sure I focus in on, and this person highlights that. So I'm gonna use this person. It may not be somebody from my direct team, but someone I've ran across. I'd be like, yo, that would be a good person for that person over there.
Yeah,
Okay, let me call them and see if they can do that.
for
You know,
sure.
but
Another thing we have to, and I'm saying we because I'm sure you go through this too. Somebody calls you and says, "Hey, do you have a guy?" And in your mind, you're like, "Well, why wouldn't you just ask for me?" But in reality, if you've been in this long enough, you understand if that person's calling you and say, "Hey, do you have a guy?" He knows that what he's asking for ain't for you. You know,
They do.
me and you've had this talk like, X, why you don't call me? Brother, neither one, I think you're busy, or two, the budget that they're calling about isn't your budget. And I know you ain't going to run out the door for it. But I could be mistaken because you might be bored one day and just be like, oh, I'll go do it. Because I do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still has a number, but
So
yes.
so now when people when people come to me because you've yelled at me about it, I just tell them to call you. I don't need to know the number. He's there. He's gonna fit what you need, and if not him, he'll point you to somebody who else can do it. And that's what I do. That's how the referral process should work. Like
Yes.
just get out the way, pass
And
the information on.
every referral does not mean I got to pay you for it.
I've never asked you for $1.
I know you haven't, but I'm just saying a lot of guys be like, I put you on this, I need $50, I need $100.
Yeah, put $100 on top of that for me. Like what?
What?
Man.
But what if I just get a gig and I just give it back to you? Like I just call you for next, the same way you call me, I can call you.
Oh, what's wrong with just saying, "Hey, this is my guy. He can help you."
Yeah.
And don't even think about it no more. Just do good work, pass it on, because when you get those calls, you're not asking, "Hey, who gave you my information?"
Right.
You're going to do your threat assessment on the clientele. You're going to
Oh,
ask
well, you know
questions.
what's funny? I asked that though.
That's because you're an asshole.
How you get my number? Who told you call me?
That's good.
Hey, no, I think what it is for me, like when someone says, "Hey, I got your number from X." Okay, in my mind, I say, "Okay, well, this is I can address this different.
Yeah,
This ain't some bullshit."
for sure.
If they be like, "Oh, Tommy gave me," who the fuck is Tommy? I don't know who the fuck Tommy is. I gotta figure out who Tommy is.
And Tommy's real name is Tommy, but we know him as Baby D or something stupid like.
Right. I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
If you're going to refer somebody to someone, tell the person that you're sending a referral.
Yes.
That helps.
A heads up would be great.
That definitely helps.
So like Sean get on me a lot because I just throw Sean in the group chat and he'd be like, "You don't think you should have hit me first?" I'm like, "Yeah, but my mind don't work like that. I'm very right now. Chris, I need this." And as you tell me, I put it together that fast and I move on. That's just how I move. And I was like, but when you have friends that are like that, you have to be like, "Okay, let me try this differently." You got to make certain moves for yourself, to make everybody happy.
Now,
so we're all learning.
I'm about to pivot on you. Ready?
Okay.
I want people to understand I don't pre-question people before they come on these shows. Everything you see is off the top. It is live and in effect. This is real conversations. So I'm going to move to something more personal. I explain to people constantly how the career you choose can have an effect on your personal life. And with this EP industry that we call a career or a job, we're going to sacrifice things. You recently had to go through what people call a divorce. And I saw the effects it had on you from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't live in California. You don't live in Miami. But we were in communication. And I saw what you were going through. And I was like, damn, this is the reality of what we do. We lose people. And I just want you to lightly tap. I don't want you to go too deep. I want you to lightly tap out to the world like, hey, look, this is how it came for me. This is how I handled it. This is something you can do to prevent it. Or if it's coming your way, this is how you should handle it. Like, what were the learning lessons that you got from that process?
Well, I can tell you, being in this industry and having a significant other is challenging. My advice out the gate would be, when she tell you that she can handle it, just know she lying. That'd be number one. I don't give a hell what else y'all talk about. Everybody can handle it till it becomes a reality. You don't understand that I will interrupt our movie date to go to the airport and get on a plane and leave. You don't understand that that's how my life is really set up. I can't guarantee dates for you because I don't know if I'll be here on that date.
Exactly.
Now I will say in my season year of being in the industry, I will tell a client no. I will give out a schedule. Hey, I'm not available these days. Because I'm in a relationship that I want to work and I want things to move a certain way. But let me tell you, also, my fiance now, she's very much so go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have plans, but work comes first. Knock that out.
Now, do
I,
you think it helps that she has met you and you're established versus the prior situation where it grew together?
I think so. The secret to my situation, and everybody might not have my situation. My fiance has been a friend of mine for 20 plus years.
Okay.
And so she's seen me in the beginning of my career. She's seen me in the middle of my career. She's seen where I'm at now. She's seen it. She's seen me go through transitions in relationships. So I think our communication and our honesty, I think, is what helps us out a lot,
Okay.
more so than anything else. But also something she took advantage of that no other past woman had taken advantage of. She'll pull up on me. I'll ask her to show up and she'll show up. Hey, I'm on the road for this amount of time. What cities you coming to? Let's plan this. Let me know where you can come.
Okay.
I have 3 days here. If you can come on during these 3 days. But she also understands that just because she's coming, my job doesn't stop.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Because
You know what I mean? Yes, you're here. I'm glad I'm going to be able to see you, but hey, I might not see you until night. You know what I mean? But you're here. And I just needed to see you. I need to feel your presence.
that feminine energy is real, boy. That road life is lonely.
And I really want it from you. Like, I think at some point, and a lot of guys, I would tell you this in your career, you will reach a point where the road life is tiring. You don't want to see these people no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the groupie thing dies out. You tired of trying to like finesse chicks in different cities. Like,
You grow up.
You grow up. Like that is just not there no more.
You evolve.
So it's like having someone that really has your back, someone that really genuinely, she don't even want to come to the motherfucking show.
I see when you get out here.
you know, she said, first of all, she not coming to no show she's my personal groupie.
Yeah.
That's I'm not coming to your show like I'm your damn groupie sitting on the side waiting. But let me tell you this: when she do decide to come, there's a seat for her. There's something set up so she can get in and out.
Yeah, she's not in the way.
She's not in my way.
I personally, and this is me, I don't have the bandwidth to know that somebody I care about is in the venue or at the show. Because now I'm even more like, just like I gotta protect everybody.
Yeah,
like my
but
is out there.
That also comes to your clientele.
Yeah.
Because if you had a Maroon 5, your girl being in the building, you're not gonna be as much worried about her safety. Because one, you already put her in a place where no one has access really to that area besides like the wives club. Yeah. Or the family club, that's who's over there.
And you're very much right.
And you're able to set up movements. If you work at a rap concert, yes, it's going to be it's a different beast.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I finally had my mom come to a show.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And what was dope about it was my sister was there. To be around my mom, and so was my son's mom. They came to be her support system because they know how I am. So they were like, we'll go, that way you don't be tripping. Because at the end of the day, that's your mom's, that's your people's. Like you're gonna want to make sure they're good
all the time.
So it does help when you have people around who understand how to move and they're there to execute those movements. I think it's great that you're in a situation now that your partner understands
it's healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy. And I think it's great that as a man, you can admit, hey, my communication is better now. My understanding is better now. That shows growth on your part in your personal life. Like people have
Yes,
to understand we are not perfect. We're protectors, but we're not perfect. We lack a lot of things. We may be great at our jobs, but when you're great at your job, something else loses. Whether it be you as a parent, I struggle with that with my children. I struggle with it with my relationship with my mother. I struggle with it with my relationship with my siblings because every time I hit the road and I get those big checks or those little checks, whatever we want to call them, I'm sacrificing those moments with
those
them.
moments.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was lucky enough to take my son to his first day of school this year. I didn't get that last year. I didn't get that the year before that or the year before that. I enjoy waking up butt crack of dawn and taking him to school because I don't get to do that every day, and it helps
right.
alleviate the pressure off of the moms or the parents or whoever. It allows me to be a dad and feel like a dad, like a real dad, not the dad who's financially supporting because he's always on the road.
Right.
Um,
It's different.
it's
And
it's, it's
and
very different.
you have you so it's funny. So it doesn't matter if you have sons or if you have daughters. You still want to be that staple, that person in their life that sets guidelines, to set have that relationship and do things. I mean, I'm a girl dad. So my girls need me,
Yeah,
so being there is so much more important than anything else,
yeah.
you know.
Presence is
and,
is
and seeing them transition. See, and I can also tell you that when you have a child that lives outside of your house, it's a reprogramming thing that you have to always go through
hmm
because the way they are with their mother is not how they are with you,
and
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 you
and that's
you
that's
have
all
a
I've
different
had.
set of standards. Like your guidelines and standards are different. So it's like you got to reteach them how to do. Hey, we don't do that here. You know.
I got very lucky. I had children with two amazing women who understood my insanity and they've accepted me for it. So they don't really give my life too much hell. Throughout the years, it's pretty easy for me. My daughter's a sophomore in college now, so her vibrations are completely
Congratulations.
different. Yeah, I mean, it's great that she's in college, but it sucks when I got to pay that tuition. But this is what we do it for, to be in a position to say, hey, I'm paying my kid's tuition so that she
Yes.
doesn't have to take out a million student loans and be in debt in her future. Like that's what makes the road life worth it is to be able to handle business. Now, for those who are out on the road and you're not handling business in your personal life, that's a problem. Because if you think running on the road is going to help you avoid all the stuff that you got to deal with, it will come a crashing and knocking at your door.
Yes, and it can get very expensive.
My boy. But look, we like I said, we could do this all day. Maybe we need to come back and do a part two. Um, but I just wanted to make sure the world knows who you are and understands
I
the
appreciate that.
level of respect that I have for you. I think you do an amazing job of setting the tone and boundaries of how you want to do your stuff. I mean, we've had conversations about billing and pricing, and one of the most profound things you said to me, it was so simple, but the way you said it, I died laughing, but it stuck with me. You're like, X, my price is my price. I'm never negotiating. And I was thinking about it from a business perspective, like, hey, well, would you want to? And he's like, no, my price is my price. I'm not going back and forth with y'all no more. But because you said that, I learned from it and I make my price now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
You know what
little
you
things
need.
the little things you can learn from each other. I just want people to understand that there's some really good guys out in this universe who are doing this at a high level that you can approach and that you can learn from. And I told you before, my idea and vision for this podcast is not to be famous, is not to make money, it's not notoriety. It is to simply put the people who are worthy in this industry in front of the camera so people know who they are and they can go to the right resources and stop going to these goofies and following behind and teaming up with each other and then they make a conglomerate of goofies thinking they're doing something. Uh, you know.
But you know what? Even there's goofies that are consistently working,
Yeah.
and hats off to you.
Yeah. And
I just, but you
I'm
know what? I'm something else. I'm gonna say. Boom. So, and I reference Wale a lot because I talk to him a lot, and it's because like I've had conversations with other clients, but he really opens up and talks to me. He said, Chris, he had a guard that was with him for a long amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
his whole career, and then he had me. I was a filler.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really fuck with me like that. He just didn't know me. You know what I mean? But one weekend we got stuck together for like Rolling Loud in Miami or something like that, and he had to be around me. And he really paid attention to how I did things. He said, "Let me tell you this." He said, "There's a major difference between what I had and what I have now."
Mm-hmm.
He said, I would have never known. He said, no one tells an artist what they should look for in security. There is no blueprint. There's no guidelines. They say you need security here. They just give you the biggest person they can give you, and you go.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but watching you, there's so many things that my last guy didn't do that you do. He said, I would never let him really like just talk to people the way you talk to people. He said, I put you in front of people because I know that you can articulate, you can have these conversations. You're a likable guy. He said, you're very much a robot. He swears to God, I'm a robot. And that everything is just this. There is no options. This is it. But he said that the way I move, he can understand the way I move. And I say that to say, you have to educate your clients.
Yeah.
You have to have those conversations. They don't really know what your abilities are. And sometimes when shit go left, it's too late for them to find out. You need to be able to take them through different crash courses. If I touch you like this, I need you to go with the flow of that because I'm doing it for a reason. If you feel me put my hand on your shoulder, I'm trying to guide you to another place. If I grab you by your hips, I need you to twist and go. There's a certain things, if you never have these conversations with them, they'll never know what to expect if something was to happen. Now you're dealing with someone that's being combative at the same time you're trying to be protective.
Yeah.
You have to share this information.
Crazy part is we do all this training, right? And then we never train the client.
So now you got them going in blind.
Exactly.
I had a client come out to one of them desert trainings. And you know what he understood at the end of that training? I wasn't good enough by myself. There were so many open spots to where he could still get got.
So he wanted somebody else. He opened up the budget.
I needed more people. He needed more people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was very understandable. But you're right. We can definitely do a part 2. But something else I want to share before we go to guys. There's a lot of guys. I know they probably do it to you that reach out and want me. They like, can I just shadow you? Let me tell you about shadowing me. I don't like people to shadow me because I don't like you to come out and work for free. I would like to be able to put something in your pocket. So as much as you may want to learn from me, as much as you may want to just be there because you're like, I just want to be there. I don't like doing that because I think you should be compensated for your time. Even if you green as hell, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. I still think you need to be compensated for the time that you put in.
Because time is money. I just did that on my last tour. I convinced the client to help them save money on their budget, let me use local assets in every city we go to. And I purposely, for the most part, grabbed guys who were newer and gave them an opportunity to make some money.
Yes.
I actually overpaid them, but I'm not going to talk about that. I gave them an opportunity to make some money and learn at the same time.
Right. You should pay me to teach you, but yeah. I'm willing to teach you because I need this night to be successful, and I want to put some money in your pocket.
And I paid you, yeah. So just trying to give back, brother. That's another episode of the Silverback Syndicate. You know, I want to thank my guest, Chris Britto, out of Los Angeles, California, originally from Chicago. Peep the hat. I want to thank you again for making the time for me. We're in different time zones. You're up extra early. I know you've been working like crazy, and you've been on the go. You got a million things going on. So I want to thank you for your time.
Of course, man.
I want anybody viewing this episode to understand together, apes are strong, not apart. So I want to thank again for another episode of Silverback Syndicate. I am X. That is Chris. You have a
Yep.
great, you have a great, wonderful day. Apes
Yes,
talk.
sir. Thank you.
Peace.